Today we're visiting La Belle, Florida. The actual plan was doing Fort Myers, La Belle, Fort Myers, but the way in, going to La Belle was too dark. There's no really good footage. La Belle sits in the Caloosahatchee, same river as Fort Myers and Cape Coral. It is the main city in Henry County. County was formed 100 years ago. La Belle is growing, and with that, somebody could say that's losing the small town appeal. For example, the restaurants used to be 4 or 5 restaurants, and that's it. There was the Big V, the Log Cabin. There's a couple great places for tacos. One of them, Las Gemelas, by the airport. Nowadays, you can find McDonald's, Culver's, Popeyes, Burger King. This is the Log Cabin, a very good restaurant. Actually, I had lunch that day there. Now, surprisingly, for a very small town, this is a decent bike lane on the main road. It's not going to last that long, as you can see. You got the usual sign, share the road. You see the speed limit, 50 miles per hour. Cars go way faster than that. So the solution is going to the sidewalk. They got a decent sidewalk. There's nobody using it, so rather be there than on the road. We are just outside La Belle now, and there's no more sidewalks, not even a shoulder on the road, so you have to use the road. Now this is another option. The new road has a shoulder in, rumble strips and everything, so it's kind of safer to ride there. Right now they're working on the road, so lanes are being shut down on and off. You have to be really close to trucks and cars driving by. This road was completed on the 20s, joining La Belle and Fort Myers. At about the same time, there was a train line running the same way. That train line was not on the same road, but on what nowadays is an FPL power line corridor just south of the road. We're going to get off the road for a while to check Alva, another small town over 100 years old. There's a bridge, an old bridge that connects Alva to this side. The Alva Bridge is an old bridge. It's a drawbridge, so boats can go underneath. It's not that busy, but there's not that much room, not even on the sidewalks, really. And you can see by the flag, it's a windy day. You have to be careful. We are about to go on the drawbridge. Now, Alva is a very small town. The school is an elementary school and middle school together. That school is over 100 years old with some additions that you can see on the right. Okay, back on the road. We are on the opposite side now, on the south side. We got a sidewalk. We're using the sidewalk again. On the distance, one of the Forestry Service observation towers. They were all over Florida back in the day. Now there are very few remaining. They're not in use anymore. There's better ways to detect fires. Past the tower, we get to one of the most important attractions in Lee County, especially in the winter when it's cold. Manatee Park, where you're going to see manatees, a bunch of them when it's cold. Now, Manatee Park is there because the manatees go there trying to look for warm waters. There's an FPL plant that uses water from the river to cool down their systems. After they use the water, they come through this canal, and the warm water attracts the manatees. It's a warm day, so it's a wrong day to try to see any manatees here. Those are the cooling towers from FPL. Okay, now we got a decent bike path. We are back on the north side of the road. It's raining, but we're almost back at I-75. We are crossing the Orange River, a tributary of the Caloosahatchee. This is the intersection of State Road 80 and I-75. Exit 141 on I-75. It's a busy intersection. We got sidewalks, so we're going to stay on the sidewalks for now. This is Palm Beach Boulevard. The name because if you take this road, State Road 80, you can go all the way across the state to Palm Beach. Options to eat, food trucks and gas stations. This is Chandler Hall, the best place to play pickup basketball games in Fort Myers. I'm too old for that now. Next comes Terry Park, old baseball field from when spring training was a small activity in Florida, home to the Pirates and the Royals back in the day. Now this train line used to be the Atlantic Coast. It's still in service under the name Seminole Gulf Railways. You know that saying, in the wrong side of the tracks? That was for real in Fort Myers 100 years ago. Now we are officially entering into downtown Fort Myers. To the right, the Oasis Towers. They made the national news back in 2009 when the recession forced so many people to lose their properties. One of the towers was occupied by 20 residents, and the other one by just one family, one resident in the whole building. Now we're riding on First Street. It used to be a one-way street going into downtown. Now it's a two-way street. They got bike lanes on and off. That's why we're on the sidewalk. We are back on the road. There's a decent bike lane. We're going to use it. To the left, the Rock Lake Resort, shut down years ago. Building on the left is Wing News. And we're getting into the bridge that divides officially downtown from the rest of the city. This is Billy Creek, a small iron bridge that's the unofficial limit of downtown. From here we can see some of the modern condos: Riviera, Saint-Tropez, Beau-Rivage, Altamar. We keep heading west on First Street towards downtown. To our left, Dean Park, one of the oldest neighborhoods in Fort Myers. Nice houses, as you can see. And just before going into Fort Myers, a couple motels. Not in the best shape, but still standing there. They're from the 50s. Now, once again on First, sharing the road. The sidewalk is gone. Not that busy at this time of the day. It was late on a Sunday. Red house on the left is the Lamford House. It was moved 20 years ago from across the street where the building stands now. That was the former location of the Lamford House. They moved it in 2002, saying there was going to be a new park in that spot. There goes the park, of course. Now, I have to admit, the Ivy, the new apartment complex, looks good, really. And it helps downtown. More people living right there is always good. We are now in the heart of downtown Fort Myers. And you can see way bigger than La Belle. To the left, the new library. It's a good meeting point, really, for downtown. We're riding on First Street, the most important street in downtown Fort Myers. To the right, the old post office. That's my bike. It's kind of quiet in downtown Sunday. Now, this First Street, as the name implies, used to be the first street right next to the river. 100 years ago, they dredged the river and they get another street. That's going to be Edwards. Now, this is Edwards. To the right, the old marina, destroyed by Ian. This is a picture a week after Ian with all the boats all over the place. The famous neighbors from Fort Myers, Edison, Ford, and Firestone. After all this, I have to say that even if the distance is easy, 30 miles one way, I do not recommend this ride unless you're used to riding in the road right next to fast-moving vehicles. And a little bit farther south, official end of downtown, Edison Ford Winter States.